The Ghost in Lake Seminole. The morning of December 16, 2000, was cold and thick with fog over Lake Seminole, a sprawling reservoir where the Florida Panhandle meets Georgia. Jerry Mike Williams, a successful 31-year-old real estate appraiser, told his wife, Denise, he was heading out for a duck hunt. He promised to be back by noon to celebrate their 6th wedding anniversary. He never returned. When Mike was reported missing, search and rescue crews swarmed the lake. They found his boat, motor running, anchored to a stand of submerged trees. His shotgun, wallet, and keys were inside, but Mike was gone. The most chilling detail? A pair of wading boots, apparently ripped from his feet, were found near the boat. The initial theory, grim and common in the Florida swamp, was that Mike had fallen overboard and been eaten by alligators. The theory, heavily pushed by Mike's best friend and business partner, Brian Winchester, and later supported by his grieving widow, Denise, allowed Mike to be declared legally dead just 18 months later. The young widow collected over $1.75 million from 3 life insurance policies. But one person never believed it: Cheryl Williams, Mike's mother. Cheryl's conviction that her son was murdered turned into a 17-year crusade. She launched her own investigation, sending letters to the governor and state law enforcement, convinced that an alligator could not have dragged a man out of his waders. She argued that the insurance policies were suspiciously recent, and the circumstances were too neat. Her constant pressure forced the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FDLE, to officially reopen the case in 2004. For years, investigators hit walls. Denise and Brian grew closer, eventually marrying in 2005. The official story held, the murder theory stalled, and the couple built a new life on the money from Mike's death. The breakthrough came unexpectedly in 2016, a chilling side effect of a different crime. Brian Winchester, after separating from Denise, was arrested for kidnapping and assaulting her during a heated argument. Faced with a potential 45-year sentence on that charge, Winchester, a man who had kept a terrible secret for over a decade and a half, finally cracked. In a plea deal that granted him immunity for Mike's murder, Brian Winchester confessed. He detailed how he and Denise had conspired to kill Mike so they could be together and collect the insurance money. Winchester admitted that he had lured Mike out onto the lake that cold morning, intending to stage a drowning. When Mike survived the fall into the water, Winchester took out the shotgun and shot him. Winchester then led investigators to a remote, muddy area near a dead-end road in Tallahassee, nowhere near Lake Seminole. There, 17 years after he vanished, Mike Williams' remains were found. The investigation now had its killer, but the mastermind was still free. Winchester's testimony became the key to charging Denise Williams. In 2018, she went on trial, with her former husband and accomplice testifying against her. The jury heard how the seemingly distraught widow had systematically plotted her husband's murder with his best friend. The jury found Denise Williams guilty of first-degree murder, conspiracy, and accessory after the fact. The long silent ghost of Lake Seminole had finally spoken, bringing a measure of justice to a devoted mother who had refused to let her son's case fade into the deep, dark water.